And hey guys, it's me, your friendly neighborhood POKEMANIAC, and yeah, I was just sleeping under the underpass here until this episode. I know there's the prefab house all the way over there, but I really wanted the, true backpacker experience, so I'm coming at you with a brand new episode of Pokemon White version. In the last episode, well, we kicked Sharon's butt as per usual and caught ourselves the lovely K.Rool here on Darude, Route 4, because SANDSTORM. All right, we're going and exploring the desert resort in this episode. Just so you kind of have our agenda for the day.
Ho there! Even in the middle of construction, a trader will battle.
All right, I like that attitude. I wish we could just bring Pokemon to work all day and battle Pokemon. But every day I wake up and Pokemon still isn't real. God, I'm digging myself into a big hole. That's, man, I feel it. Because honestly, I mean, if, HR catches wind that we're battling Pokemon on company time, well, there's no telling what they'll do to us. Well, you specifically. I don't actually work for the company. But, anywho, moving right along, well, just more construction workers. If you can't tell, this is where we picked up Torment, right over there. So, we've been tormented by the SANDSTORM for long enough.
A battle is like a construction project. They're both a piece of cake for me.
Oh! Okay, guy's got confidence. I'll give him that much. Zach. All right, let's see if that confidence is warranted. Well, I suppose it was not.
Ooh, that piece of cake was hard to swallow.
All right, dang. Even Route 4, the dialogue's been clever. I tell you what, the writers are witty when it came to Gen 5. Oh, cool. There's a vending machine right here, even though I already went back to Castelia and got myself a bunch of lemonades. Ah, well, can't really complain. It's nice that that's there. Let's head on right in here, and this is another prefab house, but I don't know if we'll be able to sleep in here.
I don't mean to brag, but I'm a dig pro. I'll give you this TM so you can use it too.
And we get ourselves TM28 Dig, which is going immediately and swiftly onto K.Rool.
Using dig in a cave takes you back to the entrance instantly. What do you think of that? Amazing, eh? Be sure to dig and dig some more.
All right. That we shall. This will be a very useful TM. All things considered, particularly because, like I said, or like I've been saying, in 5th gen, the power level is very hard, and even just getting through, certain like caves or routes or some things are going to be very tough for us. So having dig at our disposal is going to be rather useful, so we can get back to the entrance of a cave before we wipe out. And whoa! Everyone on the team can learn dig. That's actually rather impressive. We are, in fact, going to give the preferential treatment to K.Rool. We're going to get rid of Sand Tomb. It served us pretty well up to this point, but we really don't need it, particularly with Dig. Because if I'm not mistaken, Dig's got pretty decent power. Yeah, 80. Like, that's ridiculous. It does take a turn, and however, if your opponent uses Earthquake while you're digging, it's going to do double damage to you. But what are the odds of that ever happening? Actually, while we're here, let's take a little look-see at what we've got. Thief. Yeah, I don't think it'd be Stab for K.Rool, but I think actually Retaliate has base 50 power, so it's a little Retaliate. Assurance has base 50 power, so I think that's a little bit better. We do have Struggle Bug. I don't think that's gonna be too much of a too much of a boon for us. Can K.Rool learn? No, he cannot learn Work Up. Okay, so Ixnay on the Urk Up way. Yeah, all right, so dig it is. All right. Everything else, while we have a nice little collection of TMs, I guess we don't have many good ones.
Sandstorms are terrible.
I was going to make another Darude joke, but I already made that. But Rock-type, Ground-type, and Steel-type Pokemon can weather the Sandstorm without damage. That is for right true. Anything in your trash can? No. I shall leave here. I'm probably going to barricade you into this room because your trash can was empty, so... Go, K.Rool, dig underneath this building and disturb its foundation. All right, moving right along. What do you have to say for yourself? Ruins buried in the desert. It's like a grand adventure in a story. I thought we were going to battle, but I guess not. And she is correct about that. We are going to be, putting on our Indiana Jones hat what were those called before Indiana Jones, wore them? Like safari hats? No, it's not quite a safari hat. Those are too round. I don't know. Indiana Jones hat, I think, works quite well as a title. We are going to go ahead and throw Skipper up here since Mojo Jojo's looking a little worse for wear. We are definitely going to be using probably our last pot ion here on K.Rool, just so we can heal him up real quick so we don't actually have to, go back and try to heal up at, the prefab house. Go ahead and give it to K.Rool. We're just trying to, power our way to the, desert resort here. Really? It's not a double battle?
I'm going to see the ruins, but I'm afraid I might get lost in the desert. It's really big, and sometimes you run into Pokemon. Will I be in trouble if I'm not strong?
Well, I mean, general rule of thumb, in life, you may be in trouble more often than not if you are not strong in some sense of the, word.
I hear that you can find the newly discovered entrance of the ruins if you go through the gate and just head straight.
All right, through the gate, head straight. I like that's easy to remember. It's easy to follow. We are going to go ahead and throw up another repel up, however, so we don't run into any more Pokemon that we don't need to see. Man, I should have bought more repels than 10. Me being thrifty. And okay, something's on level 19. Oh, it's another Sandile. Oh my gosh, it's on level 21. All right, so now that we know the level grade that we're working with, let's throw Skipper up front. My goodness, so our repel will actually do its job. That's rather terrifying. I was not expecting a level 21 K.Rool to come at us. Rather intimidating and stronger than ours. Our Sandile at the moment. What do you have to say for yourself?
The desert resort is especially known for the Relic Castle.
Thank you. I was gonna say something about but her job is literally just to give out information like that.
I'm a school kid, so I know this. Just like in caves, you can run into Pokemon almost anywhere in the desert, but they don't like hiding in the pale sand. So if you walk there, you won't have to worry about battling.
All right, thank you. That you're like the third person to tell us that, though. What? You trying to work here too? School kid? The nerd. Tell you what, I know a guy you'd get along with, and. Great. There's even more sand now that we're in the desert resort. But coming up here, as you can see, very usefully, why we are kind of powering through instead of going back to the prefab house is because we've got ourselves a doctor right here. But before we challenge the doctor, let us go ahead. And I don't know if this guy wants to battle us or not, or if he's going to like give us something or just, lament that the desert resort is so big.
I can't clear out to the desert resort to train, but there are so many ground-type Pokemon, I'm already in tatters.
Bro, I feel that on a spiritual level. So let's go ahead and talk to the doctor.
I'm a trainer first and a doctor second.
All right, I like that attitude. It's like me. I'm a Pokemon trainer first. Everything else second. Dr. Jerry. So much like Nurse Sherry, it was Nurse Sherry, wasn't it? Much like Nurse Sherry, Dr. Jerry is going to be doctors in general, not just Dr. Jerry. That'd be actually really cool though if he was like maybe a traveling doctor, and so it was the same like Dr. Jerry and the same Nurse Sherry every single time you run into him. That would actually be hilarious, and you could actually start up a rapport with them. And of course, the doctor's gonna have a dang old hyper potion, to heal up his Pokemon. But like I was saying, the doctor, either a doctor or a nurse, can be found at most entrances to kind of major areas.
Whenever I meet a trainer, I can't help having a battle.
I feel it, bro. I feel it. Heal my Pokemon up now.
Now I will make your Pokemon healthy.
Thank you. That's all I ever needed from you, Jerry.
Desert Resort is a harsh place. Do you have medicines?
I do, in fact. And I also got 2 burn heals in Route 4, so I don't know what that's about, but we got them. But anywho, we're going to throw up another repel up and explore around the Desert Resort a little bit more. So, like I was saying, it's nice that these guys are going to be at, most entrances to, major areas or big dungeons that don't have Pokemon centers nearby.
Having traveled the world, I realized we can communicate through our Pokemon.
Yes, like that time period, I think it was like Gen 6 when everyone was, all of a sudden, they were, like Wonder Trading, level 1 Snorlaxes, named your mom, and they were holding burn heals. Good times. So here we've bumped up against the Pokemon that we haven't seen thus far. And that is Tranquil. Tranquil is the evolved form of Pidove. You might not have actually known that, considering this is like, I mean, quite the glow up. For, a little bird, little pigeon looking, like I guess it's a little mourning dove, grown up into, a Tranquil. I don't exactly know what it's supposed to be. Like, is it supposed to be a pheasant? But up for interpretation, all right? But we're gonna get Skipper out here. I mean, much like every Pokemon when they evolve, they get stronger. I mean, obviously, but the jump from Pidove to Tranquil is actually fairly noticeable, and it's Tranquils are actually like a step above Pidove. So if you put in the time, even Pidoves can become pretty handy, all things considered. Really handy considering that I can't actually battle this thing easily with K.Rool, but we're going to go ahead and tackle this thing, and I'm glad, finally, jeez, I thought I was going to use Detect again. Can't believe it hit it like 3 times in a row, man. Now our K.Rool is finally at the same level. That message, I don't remember what voice I gave. That message came through loud and clear. There it is. Yeah, our K.Rool is now the same level as the Sandile we fought at the entrance of this place, so very, very proud of him. One more level, and then we could probably just leave him out front with our repel up so that he can ward off the wild Pokemon.
Being with my Pokemon makes me happy, even when I'm in a bad situation.
Well, I mean, I can't think of many worse situations than being in a full-on sandstorm in a desert, Liz. All right, and she's got herself a Watchog! Ooh! That experience, though. Oh, man, I knew we could take this thing down, and I'm glad we did, because that's redonkulous. Embargo. Embargo's a very interesting move. It'd be a little bit better competitively than, say, in the single-player mode. So we're going to keep our old moves. I even think Torment's probably a little bit better than Embargo, if I'm being honest. So,
yes, it was fun that you and your...
Blah, blah. Your and my Pokemon had fun. I didn't quite catch that. I'm sorry, Liz. Please forgive me. It's actually it's kind of funny. I'm literally got the leg up on you there, Liz, because she sunk down into the what they call the non-pale sand, the dark sand. Coming over here, we can get ourselves the black glasses, which will increase the power of dark type moves. Would be good for K.Rool. However, I think having the Eviolite on him, because guys, I can't tell you, like, K.Rool doesn't have the best defenses. Sandiles in general don't have the best defenses, but having the Eviolite plus Intimidate on K.Rool, like, he's hardly taken any, well, he's still taking like a decent chunk of damage, if I'm being, honest with you. But he's hardly taken any damage, all things considered. So that gives him the opportunity to be able to take down things like Watchogs, if need be. You're the first person to come clear out here to talk to me. I'm so moved. I'll give you this. What is up with really creepy guys like the Men in Black just hanging around giving out items to children? Okay? I do not approve. But we did get the soft sand, which is also could be very useful right next to the black glasses. Maybe there was another one of him and he got abducted. And all that was left were his black glasses. No. If a Pokemon holds a soft sand, the power of ground type moves go up. So that is also another useful item that could be very useful for K.Rool, should we have the need for it. Our repel did wear off, but since I want to kind of conserve them a little bit, we're going to see how long we can avoid hitting the dark sand. And as soon as I said that, what on earth is that? It appears to be a statue of a Pokemon. Gee, thanks! These things are really creepy, and there seems to be one missing. I think That's a little bothersome. But so these are the ruins of the desert resort. We will be getting to those in just a moment. However, we are going to be exploring around just a little bit more. There are more trainers and more items to be found. Trainers to be battled and items to be found. You know how it goes. Man, there should be an item on top of this thing. Like, come on, are you kidding me? It's like too obvious. Man, see, they need to get me to design Pokemon games. I got the instinct, guys. I would be able to place hidden items like anywhere, like in the best of places. Coming up here, we can go grab a non-hidden item, which is a super pot ion. Not too bad. Replaces the one that we used to get over here. And I suppose we should just ooh, we got another item. Too easy, baby. We get ourselves a fresh water, which, oh my gosh, can you imagine finding a fresh water in the middle of the desert? I would not be complaining about that. Also, I mean, I guess now we can kind of talk a little bit about the, like a deserty condition, because as you can see, there's lots of particulates flying across the screen. For the entire time. I am a psychic. Just one look at you tells me that you are a trainer. Oh my, regular Chris Angel over here. My goodness, totally psychic. Psychic Sybil. That's a pretty good psychic name, I gotta say. Better than Rick for a clown. But, oh, and she's got herself a Pokemon that we haven't seen thus far and that we can't actually see in the wild here in Pokemon White version. It is Gothita, which is one of my favorite Gen 5 Pokemon. Now, Gothita is the pure psychic type Pokemon, and it grows up. I mean, it evolves into like a very defensive Gothitelle. There is there's Gothita, Gothorita, and Gothitelle. The mid-stage, what did she use? Okay, Embargo. That's fine, because I don't think you're surviving another assurance. It's assured that your death is imminent. Gothorita evolves into the very defensive Gothitelle. Very cool design Pokemon, too, if you ask me. I am a psychic, so I can tell the battle is over. Brilliant. My goodness, you're gonna go all the way to the top. You'll be performing in a Luxor in no time. There, Sybil. Now, we're gonna come down here and battle this guy. I guess Gothitelle, great Pokemon. Anywho, going over the particulates in the air. So weather will pop up sometimes in this game. I believe it is only when there are like, special events for it, or like, certain things like, being certain environments for it. I discussed this a little bit when I was doing, the Pokemon Platinum walkthrough. I like the concept of having like weather be like a hazard, kind of. It makes it hard to see things. It makes it hard to differentiate between the dark sand and the light sand. And it makes it hard to see certain things. However, I don't know. I appreciate what they were trying to do, but like the other sand and blizzard conditions, I don't know. I think there's got to be a better way to execute it. Not too bad.
I am feeling very upset because I could not win.
You know what? At least you're honest with your feelings. Like me, I just sulk. I just mauled. I sit there and I smolder and burn and get real mad. Did we fight this guy already? Let me see. Yes, I guess so. I guess we have. So getting out of the dark sand once again. It's all right. Man, I actually ran into the sand. It's not so bad in this generation, the sand in the air. However, if they're not, it's like, it feels like they're trying to split the baby here, where it's like, okay, well, if you want it to be a hazard, just at least, commit to it, right? Make it hard to see, and if you're not going to, you're going to use it for decoration, then you don't need to go so, hard, I guess, with the particulates. Well, I guess there's a further place to go than where we are. Let us, however, this is where we were just a moment ago. There is an item over there, which we are going to employ the use of one of our few remaining repels to get to, so we don't have to bump into any more wild pocket monsters, because they're rather scary, you see. And we come over here, get ourselves, a Stardust. That'd be really cool, just digging up some, Stardust in the middle of the desert. Yeah, we got the item from over here. Let's just continue kind of working our way in like a not like a zigzag pattern, but like an up and down pattern. Like, like if you were mowing the lawn, or if you were a vacuuming. You're going up, turn, down, turn, up, turn, down.
The abilities of my Pokemon, I will show them to you.
All right, that's fine and dandy. I mean, I don't think he means the literal ability. Psychic low, get low, get low, get low. Oh, speaking of new well, it's not really speaking of new Pokemon, but speaking of getting low, I don't know where to go with that one. There's no segue. There's a new Pokemon in front of us. This is Yamask, or Yamask, depending on how you say it. And he probably will show us his ability here in a split second, and that is Mummy. So this is an interesting ability. As you can see, K.Rool, his ability now suddenly became Mummy from attacking it. Mummy activates when a Pokemon with the ability Mummy gets hit with a physical move, like a physical attacking move. So K.Rool right now has Mummy, which is fine because, Intimidate already went off. If you switch out and then switch back in, your ability comes back. Oh my goodness, air went down the wrong pipe there. That kind of hurt. So now let's say you actually get the ability too. So let's say this Muna, for whatever reason, hit us with a physical move. It would in fact be its ability would then become Mummy, and so on and so forth. You can spread it around, which is kind of funny. There are competitive uses for this move. So, like, if you had a Slaw King, I could not make a really good use of the ability Mummy. Oh, so he was actually talking literally about the ability. Shows how much I know. So it can be used competitively. So if you have something like a Slaw King or maybe a Regigigas that you wanted to use, but you're really hampered by its ability, you can actually use that to your advantage. Granted that you are participating in like a double battle, I should say. You can actually hit your own Pokemon and give it Mummy, and so you no longer have slow start, or you no longer have Truant. So pretty useful applications there, I must say. Let's go ahead. Yeah, I was gonna say put our dowsing machine back up. Come down here. I love the fact that there are so many psychics out in here. I don't know why the psychics all decide to go vacationing in the desert resort, which, so far I haven't seen. It doesn't seem much like a resort to me. Just looks like a barren wasteland. But a lot of psychics seem to want a vacation here, and I am so for that because they are giving K.Rool just the easiest time catching up to the rest of the team. So, that moment! That is when we use Pokemon! What moment? The moment, well, I guess the moment we lock eyes, because that's what trainers do. Alright, Gavin! Alright, take that, Gavin. Oh, is it over already? Yeah, already. You drug that out as long as you possibly could, didn't you? Anywho, yeah, so pretty niftily enough. That's a new phrase, all right? I'm not even going to pretend like that was real. I just invented that, so enjoy using that. Enjoy adding that to your lexicon. But we can come over here and find ourselves a Firestone, which is probably kind of useless to us now at this point, because we already used the, Firestone we got from the one guy in Castelia to evolve Mojo Jojo, and I don't think any other Pokemon in this generation use Firestone, so fancy that. So we are getting pulled over in this direction. We are going to throw up another Repel Up. We are dangerously low, however. So we're probably going to use this one, and then we're just going to kind of rough it until we need to get back to the ruins, I suppose. Oh, we already battled you. But coming up over this way, so there is another, entrance to the ruins. However, this one is kind of sealed off from us, which, oh, great. I'm glad we came in here then. But coming in here, in those ruins, that is where you can catch yourself a Yamask, should you really want one. Yamask, I didn't really get to explain its, like benefits. It's a very bulky and defensive Pokemon. Spreading Mummy around is pretty good, particularly if the opposing Pokemon has a ability that you don't want to deal with. Like say like Moxie or something like that. So no complaints. No complaints there. Oh, you're just gonna have to rough this one, guys. I'm sorry. it evolves into Cofagrigus, which is a very defensive pure ghost-type Pokemon, which are hard to come by. Even up until, like, you know, well, I don't know. Miss Magius was a pretty banging Pokemon, and then so was Dusclops. So maybe I'm just you know, maybe I'm just behind in my times. Scorching desert, a passion for adventure, and a heated battle. I like your words, Magic Lady. But anywho, Cofagrigus very defensive. Really good to spread Mummy around. If you want one, to pick it up. And speaking of Pokemon that, well, I was gonna say useful, but wank. Like I said, good water-type Pokemon are kind of hard to come by in this game if you don't pick yourself up an Oshawott or a Duat-mite, as we have currently. This is Ducklet, and oh yeah, see, introducing me, he waved at us. So Ducklet is a water-flying type Pokemon, and it's a duck. I don't know what you're expecting. It's not like super powerful or anything. We may see more of this thing a little bit later. But overall, I don't know. Like, again, there's just like, it's a good, man, how do I, if you need a flying type Pokemon and you don't want like Pidove, this is like your other option. One of like your two other options for a long time. And it's also good, you know, as, like I said, good water types are hard to come by. So if you need a flying type and a water type, go ahead, pick Ducklet up. It's a good option. It's I would say painfully average is the best way to describe that thing. There's nothing super unique or outstanding about these things. One zap of electricity is going to absolutely decimate this thing. Kind of like, you know, the Gyarados complex, but without, you know, the benefit of being a Gyarados. Is that cruel? Is that cruel to say? But anywho, so it's aerial ace at like 24, so maybe it's not, you know, the worst thing in the world. Maybe I don't know quite what I'm talking about. But, you know,
It's a Ducklet.
and it does evolve, so it does get stronger. But you just got to know how to use it, I suppose. Now, isn't that any Pokemon? All right, Skipper just moving right along. I'll tell you what, hot! Oh, well, you ain't too bad yourself, Carmen Sandiego. Speed is crucial to treat a burn. All right, and she gives us a Rostaberry, which, you know, not too shabby. And also, I have like, I don't know. Like I said earlier, we've got like 2 burn heals since we've gotten to Route 4. I don't know what that's all about, but it can't possibly be Darumaka's, right? Because, well, if you didn't know, people used to use, or probably still do use, according to the Pokedex, Darumaka droppings. In order to keep warm. So, just a little something to keep in mind. Should you find yourself in the, well, I mean, if you're living in the desert and it's a cold desert night and you don't have like a tauntaun to cut open and hide in, maybe I can see you justifying, you know, lining your clothes with Darumaka crap. Oh, boy. Anywho, I will show you the harshness of the desert through a battle. Buddy, trust me, I've already been complaining about this the whole time. You don't need to show me nothing. All right, Ranger Jaden. And speaking of keeping warm, nice and easy, Jaden. Desert, hot, mouth, dry, girl. Well, I found a fresh water. I might have actually used it, though, so sorry. Be careful. What? Well, I mean, okay, like, oh my gosh, I'm so stupid. You're in a desert. You're going to get sunburnt. Duh. That's why all these burn things are... Oh, my goodness. I'm just mad my own stupidity was revealed to myself, all right? I'm gonna sulk a little bit. Moving right along, we can come down here and pick up the TM39 Rock Tomb, which is the main reason we came back here in the first place. Because, if you recall, we were looking through some TMs that some of our Pokemon could possibly use, and Rock Tomb is a very good one. Gives some decent type coverage for K.Rool over here. Well, maybe not even type coverage, but just more reliable, more reliable moves, I suppose. Like when we bumped up against a Woobat in one of these trainer battles, it used imprison and took away assurance, and then we couldn't hit it, and so we had to let the sand basically take it out. We are going to get rid of torment because I'm not going to be using it, honestly. And I like the other moves because like Mud Slap, it's basically, like I said, sand attack with damage, so I'm keeping that around. Dig is my actual good ground type move, stab, good stab move, and then of course Assurance is my other stab move. So that's the logic, the line of logic behind my decision making in there. But with that's basically all of the extraneous stuff that we had to do out here in the desert resort. So we can actually head on into the, actual Relic Castle. But before we do that, we're gonna head on over to our butter Jerry, our buddy Jerry, who's gonna heal us up real quick. So Jerry, heal my mons. All right,
Now I will make your Pokemon healthy.
thank you, Jerry. You're a treat. All right, I do have medicines. I got plenty of burn heals too. So you're a peach, Jerry. I appreciate you. You're doing Arceus's work and all for free. So I'll never let anyone. I don't care what anyone else says about you, Jerry. I think you're a good guy. I don't care what everyone else in the whole entire desert resort was saying about how bad you are, and about how weird your teeth look, and about how small your nose is, and about how big your forehead is. I ignore all of that. I say you're a good guy. All right. And how one foot is like slightly wonkier than the other. That's also okay. Don't know why I'm being so mean to Jerry. He doesn't deserve this. Jerry deserves all the world. All right, so we are in the Relic Castle. Well, Relic Castle proper, I should say. So we can proceed. We are going to throw up a repel up because, much like caves, you will run into wild Pokemon in here. So, what do you have to say for yourself?
There are two things I've learned about quicksand. If you try to walk through the middle, you'll fall. And if you run through it, you'll fall.
I had a heck of a time when this game first came out, when I was but a wee lad, figuring the mechanics of the quicksand out, because I just wanted to run through everything. So, how about, you're actually a trainer. Okay.
My Psychic-type Pokemon just started making noises. Is that because we're in the ruins? Or is it because of you?
All right, I don't know much about that, but your Pokemon, but I'm going to leave them in ruins. That's for sure. Take that. Perry the Psychic. Okay. And Perry, he's got himself a Sigilyph, which is a Pokemon we haven't seen thus far, but one I was very eager to talk about. Now, you can find these bad boys out in the desert resort. Now, Sigilyph is, he's a funky looking guy, isn't he? Sigilyph is a psychic flying type Pokemon. Now, he does look like the, what are they called? Like the Nazca lines? He looks like a creature straight out of that. Woo! Okay, I see ya. I see ya, Sigilyph. That's the other thing I wanted to talk about when it comes to Sigilyphs. As you can see, we did hardly any damage to it, and it did a ton of damage to us. So Sigilyphs, they don't evolve. However, they are remarkably strong Pokemon. They're, like, absolutely busted early in the game. Well, like, right around here when you can catch them. Just add it to the long list of busted Pokemon you can find in the Route 4 or the Desert Resort area. But also, they hold their own up until, like, the end game. They're still really good, even, once, all the other Pokemon have, like, evolved and caught up. So, if you want something, like, stupid good early game and that will serve you up through the entirety of the game, I don't want Swagger. Swagger's a little too risky. I don't like using that because Confusion's not even guaranteed for, like, more than, like, 2 turns. So, it's, like, not even worth it. But anywho, take that. Barry's so strong. Who are you? I'm just an otter. Skipper the otter. Okay, I mean, I tried. All right. I just like doing the Doofenshmirtz voice, okay? Sue me, all right? We're going to go ahead and throw a Lemonade here onto K.Rool, who bumped up to level 25 from that battle. We're also going to use one on Skipper here because he deserves it. Taking down a Sigilyph is no easy task. Highly recommend that monster, by the way, should you need a flying type or like a flying psychic type. Like if you have a Woobat, get rid of that thing. throw it in the trash. Throw it down the quicksand pit. You don't need it. You got a Sizzlift now, all right? That's what you're going to be using. Just being here fills me with magical power. Can you imagine if I'm going to talk like that? It just fills me with magical power. Psychic Dua. Dua Lipa. I don't know much about Dua Lipa, but that's the only Dua that I actually know. Other than do what, mate? See, this is what I'm talking about. This is why we put Rock Tomb on K.Rool right here. This right here. Alrighty, easy peasy, munna squeezy. Take that, Dua. You seem to be full of magic power too. All right, and yeah, so Munna, right? I mean, you saw it's kind of like that floating little thing, and it's like you got to get Dream Mist out of it somehow. And yeah, imagine you have to because the Munna's just dropped it in item form, so we don't know how they actually produce it, but. What I'm trying to get at here, all right? Hear me out. You got to let me cook a little bit. Easy peasy, munna squeezy. All right. What if those little legs that it has? Hey, hang on. Don't leave yet. What if they aren't legs but udders of some sort? Now, hang on. Hey, don't click off yet. Don't click off yet. And that's how you get the Dream Mist out. Is you milk it like a. Jeez. Okay. I understand if I lose some of my audience because of that. I don't like the image of Munna getting milked any more than you do, but I don't want it in my head only. I have to share it. All right. So like I said, when I was but a wee lad, this confused me because I would always try to run across here, but the trick is just to walk. So you can, do that. And what do you have to say? Trainer, you still can't move ahead because there's so much sand. I will do my best to remove the sand. Well, you can't tell me what to do. Trainer, you still can't move ahead because there's so much sand. I can do it. I got a sand dial. I can remove sand. I don't have to stupid weight construction. Anywho, are you gonna battle me? I've been carrying 2 Pokemon fossils, but they're just so heavy. Would you take one of them off my hands? Oh, okay. So, here we get our choice of fossil Pokemon. Now, anyone who's played previous generations, you already know how, the fossils work. And you would take yours back to Nacrene City, I believe, to the museum to have them recovered. Because if I recall correctly, there was a lady at the entrance who was very adamant about telling you that she brings fossilized Pokemon back to life. Which, is a Jurassic Park-like experiment that probably has untold consequences on a modern-day environment. But no one's ready to have that Pokemon conversation. So, what I'm trying to say is what it boils down to is you got to pick yourself the cover fossil or the plume fossil. If you decide to pick yourself the cover fossil, I think that's probably the wrong decision. But you get yourself a pretty nifty water-rock type Pokemon by the name of Tortuga. Which I think that's the evolved form of the Pokemon you actually get. But it's rock water type, physically defensive and physically offensive for the most part. It's all right. Again, it kind of suffers from being stupid weak to grass type moves. All the caveats that unfortunately come with being a rock and a water type, which taking a gamble against anything that's got a ground type move. That's for sure. But if you get yourself the plume fossil, which is the one I'm going to take, that will give you an Archen or an Archeops when it evolves. Now, Archen is rock flying type Pokemon, which is a very interesting type, very much reminiscent of Aerodactyl, and that thing will remind you of Aerodactyl. It is super strong, however, it cannot learn fly, so if you want a flying type Pokemon that can actually fly, I can't say, to grab an Archeops. But it is a supremely strong Pokemon. I'm going to get a Revive, not too shabby. There is another item down here. Oh, right here where we landed it. An Elixir. Not too bad. Archeops, super powerful. However, its ability, it trades its stats off for its, kind of crappy ability, which is Defeatist, where if it loses enough HP, its stats basically get cut in half. and then, you know, making it basically useful. So it's the definition of glass cannon. You got to be able to hit hard and hit confidently and make sure that whatever you're hitting is going to KO, you know, or else the retaliation is going to cost you dearly. But anywho, that's about all we can do here in the desert, the Relic Castle and Desert Resort. Oh, look, it's a wild yam mask. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to hit up our buddy Jerry one more time and then head back and finish up Route 4 since that's all we can do here at the Desert Resort. But nifty place, you know, nice little tourist attraction, I must say. Not very welcoming, I do have to admit, so I don't know why they call it a resort. I would rather stay the night underneath the overpass again, if I am being totally honest. But coming over here, Jerry, my man. All right, making my Pokemon nice and healthy. Like, I don't even care if your eyes look in different directions or, you know, that your hairs look sticky. Yeah, I think you're a great guy. All right. And moving right along, there's not too much left to Route 4, so basically we just have to, you know, run up the path that we neglected to take earlier. And, man, I never thought I would say that it's nice to be back out here where in Route 4, where the sand is not as harsh as the Desert Resort, but, like, well, here we are. All right, let's go ahead and stock up on a couple more lemonades while we're at it. Just, you know, because we can. It's also nice that they have a vending machine out here. They probably, man, I gotta tell you what, this vending machine probably does absolute gangbusters out here by the Desert Resort because you're in a desert. Of course you're gonna be buying, like, water and lemonade and maybe even soda pop. I don't know. Like, that's actually brilliant placement for a vending machine. And you probably have to restock it a bunch of times, but my goodness, you're probably making bank. All right, what do you have to say for yourself? When I look at the freeway, I feel exhilarated. You know what? To each their own. I ain't gonna judge. But running right along, we have only but a few more trainers left to, you know, take down. A traveling backpacker meets a traveling trainer. All right. And, well, hopefully it's worth my time meeting this, this backpacker. I may have been traveling to meet you. Just kidding. Man, you can't. Jerome, you can't just say things like that to people. It's weird. It makes them feel uncomfortable. Ah, jeez. All right, so Jerome definitely wasn't worth our time. Yeah, and there it is, guys. The legendary Route 4. Fantastic route, fantastic Pokemon on it. Honestly, you could build basically what I would consider the rest of your team. Well, the majority of the rest of your team just on that route alone. So, like, I mean, ridiculous power level of a route. All right, yes, Nimbasa. All right, and we finally caught up to Sharon and, of course, Juniper. Hello, Maniac.
Come here. What? Get over here.
Chill, bro. Like, what the heck? Elisa called and was asking me all about electric-type Pokemon, and I thought about you guys. That's why I wanted to see you. Ta-da! Freebies for you! Here's Sharon. You too, Maniac. And we get ourselves Ultra Balls. All right, I guess because they're yellow and they remind you of electricity? Oh, I don't know. If you see a Pokemon that you want to have join you, be sure to use a good type of Pokeball, because this could be the first and last time you see that Pokemon. I know it might seem strange for me to say this since I'm the one who asked you to complete the Pokedex, but please remember to enjoy your journey. Of course, I'm not saying that you can just neglect the Pokedex. Ooh, that might have been directed at us, boys. I mean, we haven't exactly been collecting Pokemon here. All right, but you know that. Now, if you'll please excuse me, I have to go meet Bianca. All right, and catch you later, Juniper.
Professor, I will cherish these balls. I'll cherish the balls that you've given me for all time. It seems the professor gave us the Pokedex as a reason to send us on a journey. At least that's what my mom told.
Well, there we go. Back
at least that's what my mom told me. They wanted us to go out and see the world. So my mom, Bianca's mom, and your mom made a request to Professor Juniper.
Just beautiful women in their own right. I love moms. I love moms, Maniac. I'm done hiding in the shadows. I'll say it out loud. I love moms, Maniac.
Maniac, what should we do now? I think I'd
like to show the professor my thanks by going to Route 4 and catching some Pokemon that I haven't yet caught. Juniper, Professor.
All right, so he is down bad, and we are done with that route. You may go and catch Pokemon out there. Actually, if he did run out there and catch a bunch of Pokemon, we might actually be toasted down the line when we're battling him.
look at the electric bulletin board to see what's happening in Nimbasa City.
I'd rather not, okay? But with that, guys, we are going to end off the episode right here in, Nimbasa City. That's right, and it is looking fresh just from the entrance here. We're not going to go any further so we don't spoil the city for us. We'll save that for the next episode. So, if you liked what you saw, guys, go ahead and smash that subscribe button, like, dislike, or whatever you're feeling like. And until next time, I will catch you later.
Sharon is a big ol' nerd. Bianca, flighty as a bird. Juniper really likes to yap. Then there's me, the Pokemaniac.